Welcome back to the grind for my Act 8.1 boss, Scytalis guide. Sorry, it is a little bit late, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. We're just going to briefly touch on a couple things in her description, and that's going to be starting with her special attacks. Depending on the phase she's in, her special 1 or 2 will lay a trap at the end of her special attack. And then this corrupted armor, just note that while the corrupted armor is down, if you deal more than 5% of her health in one hit, then it's going to automatically stop that timer, and then you won't be able to do much damage again. And then the next thing we're going to touch on is phase 4. She's going to be able to evade all heavy attacks, and then you can't remove the corrupted armor in the typical way, so you have to have prowess, and then each hit of your special attack will ignore some of that damage mitigation. So when I took this footage, the traps were still not visible, so as you can see, if you trigger a trap, bad things will happen. So you want to avoid that, and if you can't see the trap, you have to remember on the map where it was. Attacking into the block will not allow you to trigger the trap onto her, so just keep that in mind. You have to actually be making contact or knock her down into it. Now, if you end with a second medium attack on your combo, then she's going to evade it, guaranteed. She's going to hit you with the first beam and gain power, and then the second beam you can block to gain your own power. This is helpful because special attacks are going to be very important in knocking her into traps, so having enough power to throw a special attack is going to be very helpful. And you can also use it as a way to give her extra power when you want to push her to special 2. Now, at the start of the fight, you can see she has a 1 in a circle under her health bar. That means she's going to lay a trap at the end of the special 1. Now, the first phase is going to set the trap very quick. You can see trap set, timer's going to go down, and then boom, trap is ready. And then you want to push her back into it. And you can do this by just plain attacking into her. And while she's trapped, you're going to have really high damage attack damage. So look at how much damage we're just melting through with Mole Man there. And we cleared that first phase in one special 2 with the little extra combo at the beginning. Then the next phase, you're going to see that she is going to have a 2 under her name. And that means that her special 2 is going to lay a trap. And again, it's at the very end of the combo. You gotta be careful with that first beam because obviously if you get hit, that's going to be detrimental. But once you dex it, she crosses a lot of ground. And then right at the end there, you want to keep note of where she ended her special attack because it's going to take a little longer now for the trap to set. And then you want to knock her into it with a heavy attack or a special attack now. So you can no longer just walk into it by attacking her. You have to knock her into it with a heavy or a special attack once you've entered phase 2 and beyond. Now, another thing to take note of is especially difficult when she lays the traps with a special 1 is if she throws a second special attack, it's going to reset the trap, which is difficult in the next phases because the wait period is longer, and if she sets a new one, it's going to restart. So here you can see she's doing her special 2. At the very end, she's going to lay the trap, so trap is set, but then you have to wait, and it's longer now in phase 2 until the trap is actually active. Then you can knock her into it with a heavy attack or a special attack, and that's going to push her into the trap. And then you're going to get that increased damage and combat power rate, so you can just lay into her and get as much damage in as possible while she's stunned there and has that damage mitigation down. And then you want to, again, push her to 2 bars of power because we're still in phase 2, so she's still laying the traps with special 2. And as you see, she's still taking lots of increased damage. That damage mitigation doesn't go back up as soon as she's no longer stunned. So you do have more time to keep dealing lots of damage to her. And now we're just trying to push her back up to 2 bars of power. So we're holding block so she doesn't throw her a special 1. And then we use a medium ending combo to push her a little extra power and get some more power ourselves. Now the trap is set here. So we're waiting it out as much as we can. I threw that heavy attack right at the last second. The trap activated. So we knocked her into the trap. And then I again went in. And now we're dealing some huge damage with Nick Fury in his second life. And I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but we did 10% damage with that special 3. And it didn't turn off the corrupted armor timer. So, but we did end up finishing that stage right shortly after. So then she went defensive. Now we're switched to special 1s, laying the traps. So there we go. She throws that. The trap is set. But now keep an eye on how long it takes for the trap to activate. And so we're waiting it out and we're waiting it out and we're trying to delay things here. Now the trap is active and I'm going to try to push her into it. I throw a heavy attack and she doesn't quite reach it. So Then she throws another special 1, and unfortunately that reset the trap. As you can see, a new trap is now set, and I have to wait that out again. So it can be pretty annoying when that happens, so you got to be careful. Again, we got really lucky with timing on that special 1 there, pushing her into the trap just after it activated, and now we can go in and deal a ton of damage. Look at how much damage Nick Fury's bleeds are doing, 46,000 damage per tick there. That's insane. So Nick Fury is a beast for this. Now we're down to the last stage. This is at 5%, and she lays the traps on her special 2, but remember, knocking her into the trap is not going to give you that damage as you were seeing before, unfortunately, but having prowess effects will, and each hit of a special attack will consume a prowess to give a little bonus damage. I think it's 10% bonus damage. So she's throwing that special 2, then trap is set, and now the time from setting the trap to an active trap is much longer. I think it's 7.5 seconds, so look how long this feels. It feels like it's taking forever. Now I'm throwing the special 1, and let's see if we can knock her into the trap with it. It looks like this special animation is going to clear so much ground, but unfortunately we don't get her into the trap. And then I ended up knocking myself into the trap right there, unfortunately, because I had kind of forgotten where it was with all the ground that had been covered. So that is a downside of not being able to see the traps. But when you can see them, it definitely will make it much easier. Now the special 2 we have here, we're trying to push her to 2 bars of power and baiting a heavy attack to now push her over 2 bars. Now we're going to bait that out. And again, we're going to have to wait quite a while for this trap to activate. So now it's set. So we're just kind of parrying her there, holding block, trying not to let too much ground clear. But now the downside, I have special 3. And so now we're going to throw the special 3. And unfortunately, it's not going to activate the trap because you're not like pushing her into it with a special attack. It doesn't really count with the special 3. And so now we're kind of just doing what we can to gain power back up. Now she has her special 2 going again. The trap is set once again. So this phase has been a little bit tedious for me. It just didn't go well. Unfortunately, all my prowesses have been consumed from my prior special attacks. Knocking her into a trap will give you a prowess. And here we go. I accidentally threw the special attack into the block. So I did want to, leave some of these things in so that you could see in real time, what's happening and some of the mistakes that you can make and where you have to be more careful. And thankfully, I guess for you guys, I made several mistakes, but now we're again using that second medium ending combo to gain a little bit of power. Unfortunately, I got clipped by that special 2. Thankfully, it didn't kill me. Once again, the trap is set. Now we have to wait this out. Thankfully, she's being pretty passive. She's just kind of dashing back and holding block, allowing me to kind of hold my ground. There, I dexed her dash, threw the special 2, knocking her into the trap. Did a pretty decent amount of damage there, and because she was still stunned, I was able to get up and finish off the fight. So I really do hope that this video is helpful. Good luck with your completion and exploration of Act 8.1, and I hope to see you in the next video.